All I got is missed calls on my line, yeah. Never seen a pick up, right on time, yeah. If I don't call back, leave me alone, please.
What's up, guys? Welcome into episode 135 of the Missed Call Podcast. This is Cubwood, and as always, I'm here with Sauce Sartori, and today's guest is Super Bowl champion Ted Larsen. Happy Thick Athletes Month. Happy 3-year anniversary, Sauce, of something that we hold near and dear to our little hearts of ours.
Yeah, who would have thought like a nonsensical idea that we came up with 3 years ago would be a reoccurring theme today on a podcast that who would have thought would still be around today that started from a nonsensical thought. You see how this is all just nonsensical thoughts that just continue.
Now I
That's
know
what we
what to
have
title
here.
this podcast. Nonsensical.
Nonsensical. Yeah. Speaking of good GRE words, let me bring us to our word of the day before we get too far into it. Today's word of the day, Cub,
I'm here
is
for
doleful.
it. Is it kind of like doubtful?
No, it's an adjective that means filled with extreme sorrow or grief. The doleful tragedy left a pall of gloom over the town. So left a feeling of gloom over the town. The
So we're at a
doleful tragedy.
doleful funeral?
This is a doleful podcast.
That would be an absolute lie.
Yes. See, but yes, a doleful funeral would be correct. Let's see if you can work it into the rest of the episode. But yeah, again, we can't downplay it. This is the start of the third Thick Athletes Month, and really excited for it. We've got the like Cub said, the president of Thick himself, Thick like Ted, Mr. Ted Larsen.
Mr. Thickalicious.
Thickalicious Ted Larsen on the show today. We got a lot of really great guests lined up for this month. And remember, we are going to be dropping some thick merch. It is this close
We're just
to being
working on
done.
it. We want it
Uh,
perfect.
It's this close to being done, and once we have that done, you'll see it. But we're gonna do a contest for this month. You know that throughout all of these podcasts, you're likely to hear at least 1 to 2 police sirens because of Cubs locale on the north side of Chicago. So what we're going to do is for this month, starting this episode 135, through the end of Thick Athletes Month, we want you to keep count of how many sirens you hear throughout these podcasts. And whoever can guess the correct number of sirens, well, they're going to be entered to win some thick merch. And there can be multiple qualifiers, but whoever gets the right number will be qualified to win some thick merch here at the end of the month.
Hopefully, or what's the Hunger Games?
May the
the
carbs
odds
be with you.
may, may the odds be ever in your favor.
Yes, yes. May the thick be ever in your favor. But let's get into it. And you know, this might sound like I'm flogging a dead horse, but I'm gonna start with what I mean. This is the best thing I've seen this week. Is it's fucking Thick Athletes Month, dude.
That's not corny. That's hey,
It's just the
three.
fact that we've said it 3 different times
Yeah,
already. But
I
you know,
mean,
it's
if I knew
definitely
that, if I knew you were gonna go in that direction, I just wouldn't have said it in the beginning. But I mean, it's Thick Athletes Month.
get on your feet. Yeah.
Hey, if you pause right now, pause, and get up, and just give yourself a pat on the back or a clap or something.
If you're in the car,
If you're thick, congratulations.
All right, take that mic away from your mouth there, buddy. That's called overmodulation. That is a term we use in the biz. But outside of that, we've had some really nice days here the past 2-3 days. We've had nice enough days in Chicagoland where thick people, you can identify them, right? People of thicker stature, you can identify them because in 50-degree weather in March, they're wearing shorts and T-shirts. That's how you can spot one. And there have been plenty that I have seen just here on campus
Including
at North
yourself?
Central, including myself. T-shirt, and you can't see it. I'm not standing up. Shorts as well. So that's how
5 inch or
you
7?
spot. I think these are 7. I bought some 5-inch shorts the other day, and I was displaying to them. I was displaying them to you before we interviewed Ted yesterday, and they're just a tad too short.
You bought them. Who cares?
No, 100%. They're going to be worn, but like in public, I have
You're worried about the ride up when you sit down or something?
not even the ride up when I sit down, the ride up when I walk. You know what I mean? Where like they're regular length on the outside, but on the
Yeah,
inside,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, you know,
You got that constant grab.
hungry thighs. Yeah, it's a
Boys got to eat.
it's a remix to Hungry Eyes. But on top of that, I also have to bring up Arlene is one of our faithful listeners who literally, I think it was at the strike of midnight, or it was early in the morning on March 1st. We got a tweet from Arlene that was honestly, I thought it was pretty cool. And you know, we think of Thick Athletes Month as kind of a it's kind of fun.
She
It's a
gave a
joke.
different perspective that we really didn't pay attention to.
And the reason that I'm dragging on so long is I'm looking for the tweet. But we kind of think of Thick Athletes Month as a joke in a way. Obviously, you know, it's a fun way to bring a platform to the athletes who don't always get get the media attention. But Arlene put together a really cool tweet the other day that gave us
I
some
got it.
different perspective, and she said, "Happy Thick Athletes Month to all of the student athletes who celebrate and love their bodies, breaking those barriers." And the interesting thing to note there is celebrating your body, right? Like I didn't think about it that way, but in a way, that's what we do. We celebrate all
We
body
didn't
types here.
realize we were a body positive podcast.
We didn't know it until we knew it.
Actually, we body shame here. Actually, I'm going to point this out. You guys shame me for not being thick, but you don't appreciate that I once was thick.
I think the fact that you once were is appreciation enough because you're allowed to be here for Thick Athletes Month.
All right, fair enough. I take back. I disregard what I said. Disregard what I said.
And you do get to partake in the festivities as well. You might not be
I clean up after you guys at the
in the inner
meetings.
circle. You might not be in the inner circle, but you are there, and you are present for festivities of Thick. So shout out to Arlene for giving us some perspective. It's always interesting when you get so honed in on something. You're like, it means this thing. It only means this thing.
Yeah.
And then somebody kind of comes in and says, but it also means this to me. And that's really cool. So shout out to Arlene. And again, we'll get into the show, but happy Thick Athletes Month.
All right, I'll start. Best thing for me, Sauce. Ooh, it just spit. Ugh. Sauce mentioned that I live on the northern side of Chicago. I'm about to be living a little more south pretty soon, baby.
Okay.
The boy is moving out of his piece of shit apartment. And I can't wait. I can't wait to have a bigger apartment, slightly bigger. I get at least my own bedroom. And I will be living where I've been dreaming of living for the past 5 years, even before I moved to Chicago. I've dreamed about living on Lakeshore Drive for the longest time. And I went to look for apartments last Wednesday. First place I found, place on Lakeshore Drive with like the perfect price for me. And we have 3 months free off. So this is just adding on to it. And it's just going to be a magical time. Thank you, cockroach, that walked into my room for Wednesday morning. Thank you. Because you solidified that I'm getting the absolute F out of this place.
Oh, you have roaches, huh?
It's the second one I've seen since I've lived here.
That's awesome.
And I'm telling you, it was this big.
When there's one, there's many. That is the thought process behind cockroaches. So I'll ask, why is Lakeshore Drive so prestigious to you?
I have this obsession with the Drake Hotel. I don't know what, like the curve when you're going south on Lakeshore Drive. Just that curve, dude. I have a slight O when people take that turn with me. A little slight climax right there.
I think other people also have an O when they go around that turn too, but for way different reasons. Because that left turn into the really sharp right turn, that is a O. It's a different type of O.
And I'm not even like upset that I'm not going to be facing like Lake Michigan. I don't even care about that. I would rather see the buildings. I don't know. I just really like the buildings of Chicago. I think
Sure.
the skyline is just gorgeous, beautiful. Just ugh.
Wouldn't
There's a
you
word
say?
I could say, but I'm not gonna say it. It's just like
Wouldn't
vibes. It's like
wouldn't
vibes. We don't say that on here. It's like we don't say whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't say that word.
we don't say that? I was gonna say. I think one of your phrases is "chef's kiss."
I'm gonna
Is
try to
that?
we're gonna try to like eliminate that, like the word VIBES. I didn't say it. I spelled it out. It's different, completely.
Okay, yeah. We're just eliminate that one from our vocabulary. But we're gonna
Energy.
add
It
some
just
more
the
with
city
the
just
word
has
of the
the
day.
greatest energy of all time.
Yes. Okay. Moving on, grinding our gears. Can I start?
Go ahead.
Because let's work out. Let's just work through this together.
This is a therapy episode. It's okay.
It is a therapy episode. You'll see that with the interview with Ted. We did some real deep diving into his unconscious and into his psyche.
Frontal lobe's got some work.
Yeah. So we know. So former guest on the show, Dom Frederick, the director of Morales for the Chicago Cubs. He drops great merch all the time. And the Cubs have recently re-signed Jake Arrieta, and he dropped a really cool piece of merch for Arrieta being back. And I had sent this link to Nikki and like, oh look, this is really cool. It was around Valentine's Day. I didn't know if she had gotten me anything yet, and
Just looking out.
she right, just like, oh, if you haven't gotten anything for me, or if you plan to get me something, this is something cool that I would like. And she responded to me, what size? Now, immediately, my worries of a shirt for myself go out the window because she just texted me, what size? That automatically means what, Cub? If I if you sent me something
Yeah.
and I said, what size? I asked you, what size? Would you assume that I'm going to buy that for you?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. It went over my head.
Right?
Yeah.
So the other day I'm driving and I think of this interaction that we had, and I called her. I was like, "Hey, did you ever order that?" Thinking she'd be like, "Yeah, it should be here in the next couple of days." She says, "No."
Eh, keep going.
I
keep
can't.
Going. Keep going.
It's. But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
What is it? The principal?
To know people, this probably would not set them ablaze as much as it set me on fire. Because I would have bought it for myself. I would have purchased it on my own. But I was sent a message that said what size, so I didn't bother.
Hey, buddy.
So this
Can
set
you not
me
buy it
on
anymore?
fire.
Can you not buy it anymore?
No, I can't because his store is closed.
Okay, now I was gonna say you can get mad with it a little bit.
See?
I was gonna say if you
See,
still
it
could
was a
buy
limited time item.
if it was like something that you still could buy, I would have cut you off and went on to my side of the story of grinding gears.
Right, but it was a limited time item. So it's not purchasable anymore.
Well, spin zone. How about we just make our own version of that shirt and like make it
And rip off a former guest?
no, just yeah.
Okay. I'll be sure to tell Dom about that one.
Oh, I'm sure he's gonna come after me. You getting off your high horse?
I think so.
Okay, so my turn. I watched someone's Snapchat story the other day. They were at a gender reveal party, and they were like showing the couple, and they were opening the box that came down with balloons. The balloons happened to be pink. The wife was happy. The husband was upset. Now, this is where I hate gender reveal parties. Just gender reveals in general, because like, who cares? Like, yeah, it's cool that you have it, but if you're gonna be like, if the father gets upset, if the father like makes a snarky comment like, "Oh, I wanted a son," or like is instantly like genuinely upset that it's a girl. One, Sauce, what's our new phrase? Get fucked.
Get fucked.
Get fucked. Like, get fucked, dude.
Yes. Yep.
You're a grown adult and you genuinely are upset that your kid is going to be, oh, a girl? You shouldn't be a fucking parent. Grow up. You look ridiculous.
Mm,
You look dumb. Just the
mhm.
fact that his day was ruined because, oh, he's gonna have a girl. You look dumb.
Sure. I'll also say that on top of gender reveals getting kind of old, so too are proposal videos. And maybe you saw one. It was recently
I
going
don't usually
around
see
Twitter.
proposal videos.
But well, let me fill you in on this one. This one was going around Twitter, and some dude had proposed, and this girl was like family surrounding them. I think it was in somebody's home, and this girl started not like shrieking with excitement, but like just yelling and screaming and running around and jumping up and down and like touching, like just not the way that you should act, right? Like there was way too much energy, there was way too much excitement. She was just overdoing it, and I think the caption on the tweet was, at this point, I would just say never mind.
I mean,
Which, like, 100%, I agree. But there are some people who are getting a little too out there with their performances in these videos, right?
here's my take with like getting excited about proposing or just the videos themselves. If if you're going to propose to someone, aren't they're probably anticipating it or somehow know that it's got to be coming sooner or later, that you're not going to be that surprised. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah,
things are clicking, and you guys have been together for quite some time. You know it's got to be coming sooner. There's probably some keys. I don't know. I've never been even that close to
I think
proposing
I
to
think
someone.
in I think in some situations, right? And I guess I can kind of speak to it a little bit. Is like, you know, Nikki and I have been together for
Basically 10
eight
years.
8.5 years next week. And while it seems like an inevitability, like, oh, eventually this is going to happen, neither one of us have any idea when that's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are
You
going
know
to
what I mean? So
graduate.
there's still that spontaneity for it. But there's never any reason to, I don't know, shake people when you get proposed to. I don't know, but let's move forward in the show. No dick kick of the week in Chicago sports, which is always a blessing. Do you have one?
What the hell's happened?
I don't. You were shaking your finger. You were
No,
shaking your
I mean
finger, so I
like
thought.
nothing bad, nothing bad.
Got it. Okay, so without that, we will move into random thought, where I have this question:
Present it.
where have these people with double masks come from? Did I miss a memo?
Wait, the people wearing them, or like the fact that people are suggesting you should wear two?
So it's the disposable mask underneath with the decorative facial covering over the top, right?
So
I
this is
don't.
supposed
Where
to
did
help.
this?
This is supposed to help really, really protect yourself.
Uh huh.
I'm not gonna
But
do it.
okay,
I'm not gonna do it. But
now hear me out. I thought the whole point of masks were so that I don't transmit to you, not vice versa.
it's both.
Okay. I see. Here's the thing. I feel like it's like wearing condoms, right? Like you're not supposed to wear more than one condom, or else friction sets in, and then there's
That's
whole.
different. That's different. There's no friction. You're not gonna start a fire with two masks.
You you might. That breath gets hot under there, right?
Oh man, the worst is when you're not like, if I stayed at someone else's house from the night before and I got to take the train home and I got the mask on, I still got my morning breath. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get home and brush my teeth.
Yeah, I burp in my mask on accident all the time too, and I'm like, God damn it, I gotta quit doing that. We're a fucking year into this, I still burp into my mask.
My thing is, I like chewing gum at the gym sometimes. I'm terrified I'm gonna pop a bubble.
Yeah, involuntarily, right? You get your tongue in
It's
the
gonna be
in
a big
the
one. It's gonna be a big one too.
um but no, I felt like I missed a memo or something. Like maybe Fauci spoke again and was like, hear me out. 2 masks.
I have
And I
such
missed the memo. I mean, I would never do 2 masks because I just have hot breath in general, and it's too much even with just the one. But like, I can't imagine with 2. Like
I
going through the day with 2 masks on has to be infuriating. How many people look at you and go, "Huh?"
Fauci, dude, I got mixed feelings about that guy. I don't know. Just I don't pay attention, but I just see like things on social media. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but what is this video?
Well, he's turned his fame into a YouTube career, I'm pretty sure.
Just like your boy, Trevor Bauer.
Just yeah. Well, not my boy anymore, but
What
definitely
exactly happened? I don't mean to do this on air, but what happened
with what?
with why people hate him now?
He just got annoying.
Oh,
That's
does
that's
he
the
do
base.
too much
So
content now?
so the reason why people liked him is because he was open. He gave shit to the media. He was really involved in the game and helped people understand it. But like the free agency, right? And like how snarky he and his agent, who I actually like his agent a lot, but he and his agent got really snarky with the media, and it was like, where am I gonna go? A new YouTube video every single week, and like he was teasing people with it, and it just got old. Like I don't know, because I'm somewhere in the middle of it, and I haven't really quite figured out where I stand, because I want players to be unique. I want players to show their personalities. I want players to be themselves. But like there was something about the way Bauer acted that I just like something changed, and I couldn't get behind it anymore. Because if you've listened to the show for a while, you know I was a huge Bauer advocate. I still love the way that he pitches. Like I'm not going to be like, oh, now he's a terrible pitcher. But I don't know. It was something about the way his free agency went that just really turned me off to him.
Tom House tweet? What's that?
Well, we went a little bit long on this, but I was going to share a tweet from from Tom House,
Who's Tom
uh,
House?
that the author of this tweet.
Oh, okay. I thought it was someone
Uh,
famous I didn't know.
but we don't really need to go into it because it requires a lot of delving into, and we've already went long on this segment anyway. So let's move into thoughts and prayers, where I will go first, because thoughts and prayers to my productivity in life, because I have found a lane of YouTube that I enjoy watching tremendously, and all the videos are at least like 20 minutes, and it's strongman YouTube. Did I say rabbit hole on Twitter? I meant YouTube.
Oh,
But
you said YouTube?
did I? Okay. But it's strongman YouTube. And it's like, you know, exactly what I said it
Have
is.
you
It's like,
ever watched World's Strongest Man's competition?
I am starting to.
Okay, I used to watch those in like the late 2000s. Dude, those are the best.
Dude, it's fucking nuts. So the
It's gonna
four
be you one day.
there's a show on there's a show on History Channel. It's essentially just four really great competitors in the sport of strongman, who go around and try to accomplish different feats of strength. It's Eddie Hall, Nick Best, Robert Obrist, and then Brian Shaw. And it's really cool shit. But at the same time, too, they all have their own separate YouTube pages, and I've been falling down quite the rabbit hole recently, just looking at some of the stuff they do and trying to learn from some of the stuff that they do as well. And so, thoughts and prayers to my productivity, because rabbit holes are a real buzzsaw
At least
for
it's
for
not baseball
productivity.
reference anymore. At least it's not baseball reference.
Well, that's the thing. Baseball reference hasn't gone away,
I know.
so I'm sure it'll be back, especially with the emergence of the baseball season. Right, we're
Yeah.
3 games into Cubs baseball. I'm sure the Yankees are probably 4 or 5 games into their spring training
I
as
don't pay
well.
attention to spring
Are they
training.
grapefruit league? Grapefruit league? Jesus Christ!
Are you asking if they're in Florida or Arizona?
Are they in Florida or Arizona?
Yeah, they're in Tampa.
Grapefruit league.
I I don't
I'm
care
just
about that. I don't
I am teaching you. That was
hey,
a teaching moment.
grapefruit. I'm just saying I don't pay attention to spring training because it's not that long and it really doesn't count. So
Would you say that spring training is somewhat doleful to you?
it would be a doleful event for me. I have been to a spring training game, and it was very riveting, but it was very just in general, it's doleful. See, I got all right. Thoughts and prayers go out to Dave Lato, head
Is
coach,
this okay? Yeah.
head coach for the DePaul Blue Demons. This
The
guy,
men's team.
a men's team, obviously not Doug Bruno. I won't be talking crap about that goat.
No.
So the Demons finished up their season 4-13 overall, 2-13 in the Big East. They had no home wins in conference. This is their 5th consecutive year in last place in the Big East. DePaul will be the 11th seed in the Big East tournament. Dave
Has he?
Lato makes $1 million every year just to be the same team for 5 years in a row. Now, before you say anything, Paul Reed, drafted this past year,
Uh-huh.
plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. He's in the G League averaging 21 points. Max Strus was signed as a free agent 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. He played for the Bulls, Celtics. Now he's on the Heat. He comes off the bench, plays 15 minutes a game, has like 7 points per game. They were on the same team, Sauce. They were on the same roster. Still last place in the Big East.
Yeah, NBA talent on a college roster is actually rare.
Oh, and we should extend him?
Has he been at the helm for all 5 years?
Yep.
Yeah, that's grounds for firing. I mean,
He left to go to another college. They brought him back.
ooh,
This is his second stint.
that's awful.
Dave Lato, dude.
Get fucked.
I hate him so much. But I do appreciate the Dave Lato burner account on Twitter. It's absolutely hilarious. The guy tweets as if he's Dave Lato. He's like, sorry guys, not taking any questions right now. I got to go to the Bahamas.
Yeah, that's 100% grounds for firing. That's interesting that he's still the coach. I mean, I don't follow much Big
He's
East
got to
basketball.
have blackmail on somebody. He has to. There's a new, what is it, athletic director at DePaul now. I think his name's Dwayne something.
Okay.
Hopefully he fires his ass.
Well, we know from past we know from the past that there were some situations at DePaul with some questionable leadership decisions, right? So maybe that's still a holdover from all of that debacle. Remember there was something with
Softball.
the softball coach, and they were related to the former AD or something like that.
That's why there's a new AD, because that one's JLP stepped down.
Got it. Well, yeah. I mean, maybe he's a holdover from that, and I don't know. I'm only speculating at this point, but yeah.
Dude,
Thoughts and prayers to Plato.
last in the Big East, 5 consecutive years, and you had 2 guys go pro. 2.
Tough. Struggle Bus is up next. Cub, you are the focal point of the Struggle Bus this week.
This happened today. You're gonna this will make your day. So what I take strolls to the lake
Everywhere.
To the lake lately. I like walking to the lake and then going to look at the skyline. That's 2 miles from my house. 2 miles in a pandemic. I walk all 2 miles to the curve to look at the skyline. Stomach makes a
Uh-oh. That's called bubble guts.
And the boy goes, no way I make this home walking.
So you went to the Drake Hotel?
No, that's like 5 miles away. I have no mask because I'm outside and I'm not going to bring it because I'm not going to go anywhere.
That seems dumb.
No.
You should at least carry 2 at all times.
Probably should. Both pockets. One in both pockets. So I'm walking and I'm like, no way I make it home. I start running. I haven't ran since last month when I had to because it was -10 outside. But that was a mile. This is 2. I get to my alley. Had to stop for a quick breather. I jog again, mid
Oh,
jog.
I was hoping you shit in the alley.
No. I couldn't because in the back of my head, I'm like, if I shit in any alley, I'm gonna get caught. Someone's gonna see me doing it. If it was dark, I would have done it in a heartbeat. I would have done it on a tree.
So you take your breather.
Take my breather, jog again, get to literally where I have to turn to the back door of my apartment, crap my pants.
You shit it yourself?
Hold on, it gets better.
That's such an awful feeling.
I was about to cry. I was about to cry because I ran 2 miles, didn't stop, and I got this close. So listen.
Hold on.
And the worst part was, it wasn't as solid. You know what? It didn't. No seepage. No seepage. My tight Nike underwear kept it safe.
Okay, hold on. So what are we qualifying as you shit your pants? Like you let a little bit go, or you full on shit your pants?
It was going while I was opening the back door still.
Oh no.
It was bad. Couldn't stop.
Oh no.
And that's such man.
But this is the point that I was gonna make is you are, as a grown man, there's nothing that you can do, and you're just like, to poop, it's coming.
You want to hear the best part?
Did you keep your pants? Is that the best part?
I took the elevator. Well, I had to. I didn't want to run up the stairs and potentially have seepage.
Right, and then you'd lose your jeans.
They weren't jeans. They were athletic pants.
Ooh. Okay, so then we have to figure out what you did. So obviously, I would assume underwear are garbage. Right. Pants. What are we doing with the pants?
They're in the wash. They're in the wash. Those are fine.
Okay. I feel like that's okay.
I checked them. Now I checked them just before we started. I checked them when I put them in the dryer. They're good. They're good.
Good.
I was like this with the detergent.
Got to make sure you get all the shit out.
It was a hot wash for them. I'll tell you that.
Yes. Yeah. Sanitation.
I am a crisp 24-year-old, and I crap my pants as an adult. Now,
hold on. Does this mean that we are now one and one, like 1-1 in terms of I shit my pants, you shit your pants?
When did you shit your pants?
The fireball incident from when I was a kid. You know this story.
The shower?
Yes. Yeah.
How old? You were like 15. You were like 17, right?
Well, no, I never partook in underage drinking.
You're a grown man. You can tell the story.
Yeah, but I could also make a joke too. I think I was 18, maybe 19 years old.
Okay, so I mean, the thing is.
But I never partook in underage drinking.
But the thing is, I've been so due for this. I've been so due for this.
I always say that everybody gets like one TV, right? So basically, like as a sports fan, everybody should get one TV to smash. You get one time. How many times as an adult do you get to shit your pants? Excluding geriatrics, being the geriatric.
But hear me out. One, I would go in public, not like out in public. Like I would go to a public restroom if I could. So in the pandemic, you got to cut me some slack. I could have stopped at so many places, but I couldn't.
But you also brought this upon yourself because you didn't bring a mask.
No, but listen, there are some places, if you even have a mask, you still can't use the bathroom because they don't have dining or whatever. I don't know. I didn't want to take a chance.
I really want to be the guy to say, listen, you're right. Some of the blame is off, but we're a year into the pandemic, dude. You got to know to bring your mask in case of the urgent bubble guts.
It was, I'm like, do I talk about this on the pod? I'm like, you got to talk about this on the pod.
Yeah, we are now 1 for 1, sir,
right,
in terms of pants shat in. So struggle bus, he can't sit down on the struggle bus or else the poop will smear. But Cub is standing on the struggle bus.
Do you know how terrible I feel right now because of like just my stomach? And then I ran 2 miles. I haven't ran 2 miles in forever.
How recent was this? Did you like just shit your pants like a little bit ago?
2 hours ago.
Wow, this is still fresh. You can still smell the shit on this guy.
No, I cleaned everything.
Okay, well, Fake Taxi's up next, and I'll let you go first because I don't want your shit story and Athletes Unlimited to be right next to each other in this podcast.
The city of New York.
Oh, smells like shit, so that makes sense.
Just for the fact that Aaron Judge is now officially the teeth of the MLB. He's the sexiest man alive. Please, Aaron Judge, have my kids. 2, the Knicks, baby. They were 500. They were in 4th place. They're in 6th right now. But hey, they win a game. They're back there, baby. The Knicks are back. Are they officially all the way back? No, but they're back.
Well, it depends. What's all the way back for the Knicks?
500.
Right. So I guess they're all the way back.
But Thibodeau's tearing it up.
Listen, Tom Thibodeau is one of my favorite coaches in the NBA for a reason. And it goes back to the time. Well, I mean, obviously, he was a coach of the Bulls that I grew up loving, but I also love that style of basketball. Lots of passes, great defense, ride your players into the ground until they inevitably tear their ACL in a game where they didn't need to be in for the final 5 minutes. It's my favorite style of basketball.
I mean, but the thing is, the team is all young. Like, probably the same age as – were they probably the same age when Rose broke or tore his ACL?
Yeah, when Rose broke his ACL. I don't know. How old is Julius Randle? Like 28?
Hold on.
Yeah, look that up. But
Randle?
Okay. An out loud Google
26,
search on the podcast.
26,
Cross that off your bingo cards for
26.
thick ass month.
It's quicker if I do it that way. He's 26.
Sure. Okay. I mean, yeah, they are definitely a young team, and this time of year right now, late February, early March, is always the hardest time of year, at least for me, to come up with like sports content because I don't give a fuck about the NBA.
It's the
I
NBA
really don't
playoffs
care.
that I live for, really.
Yeah. Like I really don't care about the NBA, and I shouldn't say that out loud because if some team ever came calling for me to call their games for a year, I'd be like, yes, please. I will learn everything about basketball, but I don't fucking care about basketball at all.
I just think it's tough to like.
And who fucking likes hockey?
Nobody likes hockey. Not even their league because they don't even promote it.
You remember, I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago at this point when they tried to play hockey in fucking California at noon.
Was that when the ice was melting and they fell?
Yep.
Hey, chef's kiss of ideas.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That
was a doleful event.
Look at us go. Okay.
We're literally Pee Wee Herman's house. So what's the word of the day? We just scream it.
Yeah. My bed opens up and starts a doleful. Okay. Fake Taxi, Athletes Unlimited. They got the cover of Sports Illustrated. That's huge, right? Like, I feel like the terms like that's huge. This means so much. Like it sometimes gets thrown around kind of haphazardly, but in this situation, Athletes Unlimited, this brand new league for professional softball and professional volleyball in America. It is huge that a mainstay media like Sports Illustrated is giving them the cover of their magazine. That is huge news. It kind of speaks to the emergence of Athletes Unlimited. It speaks to the emergence of professional softball and volleyball in America, which is incredibly important. And it was just really, really cool to see that.
And big shouts out to Abby Ramirez for getting the cover. You're famous now.
Yeah, we know Abby. You know her better than I do, but she's definitely been a part of some podcasts pre and post.
Haley Wagner's roommate.
Yeah, yep.
Forgot.
So
it's okay.
I think I knew, but I also thought she was in Skurhaz too. If you think way back to the first female athletes.
No, she's alone.
Month.
Remember?
That's right. I think they're just friends. But see, this is wires get crossed. Chemo brain. I got holes up there. It's whatever. Cancer jokes. Cross that off your bingo card for Thick Athletes Month as well. And we'll move into Tinder bios, which is next. And I just
Oh,
need to
before we
pull those
forget,
up.
watch the volleyball games. They're unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
I mean,
best volleyball players you arguably say in the world.
yeah, I mean, Jenna Gray's not there, which is disappointing.
A moment of silence, and we're back.
But we'll get there.
Yeah.
We're in the infancy stages of Athletes Unlimited. I thought the softball season this past summer was successful. Volleyball is going well right now too. And I've said it before. I've said it a billion times on this podcast. But for girls in America who play softball and play volleyball to know that there are efforts being made for them to have a professional league to grow into is wildly important. Um, I just hope that at some point, like when we get to a point where Athletes Unlimited has established this prominent volleyball league, I hope that there is a nod, an acknowledgement of the past and some of the better college players of all time get the limelight that they deserve, right? So maybe I don't know if there is, but if there's a volleyball, college volleyball Hall of Fame for for the women's side, right? Hopefully that history is remembered and brought into the future with this league because I mean it's going to be successful. There's no way that it's not. It's got the financial backing, it's got the popularity, and it has national broadcasting with it too, which is another huge thing. So I don't know, man.
The thing with volleyball, it's not that hard to learn the rules. It's like you watch, like, oh, that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? It's not like any other sport. It's like, what's going on? What's going on?
It's a very simple sport. I think maybe the hardest thing about volleyball is just learning the position names, right?
Yeah.
You've got like your
libero.
middles, your setter, your libero, which is a fun, unique term.
It's
for
usually
the
little person.
Yeah, well, the little person in terms of volleyball, which is like 6'2", 6'3".
No, it's usually my height.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what do I know? Okay.
Nothing.
That's
Doleful soul.
That is Fake Taxi for the week. Let's get into the grand finale. Tinder bios are up next, and then we'll get to Ted Larsen, the president of Thick. Okay. Take a breath. Let's set. It's Christina, Sinovia, interesting, and Amelia. Christina's 45 years old, Cub. A cougar.
Right. She's right.
A cougar, if you will, right?
She's right.
She's 7 miles away, and here's her bio. The disclaimer here is that I am anything but an easy conquest, and you are likely wasting your time. In all actuality, I'm a sapiophile with a true appreciation for a chivalrous gentleman who doesn't balk at a real challenge. Given that insight,
is this Shakespeare?
I think, dude, I was just thinking this lady's vocab is fucking ridiculous.
Thou shalt bringeth
chivalrous men. Okay, so in all actuality, I'm a sapiophile with a true appreciation for a chivalrous gentleman who doesn't balk at a real challenge. Given that insight, anyone worthy would recognize an in to the fast track and maneuver accordingly. Semantic narcissists, please spare me your gym or your dick pics. Although amusing, it's simply futile unless requested at a later date.
No, she sounds like an evil villain. Futile.
Okay. In the canon of Tinder bios, this is undoubtedly the most well-written Tinder bio I have ever read, seen, heard of in my entire life. Christina, hats off. Jesus Christ.
I'm going to need you to read that one again later, but we'll move on.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Sinovia, who is 35, is up next, and she is the business owner of Baby Butterflies LLC. Oh, I own a business on Facebook and Instagram called called Belly Butterflies. Check it out. No. Overall, I'm a good human being. I don't like repetitive conversations. What you see is what you get. No catfishing over here. I'm a blonde and bald-headed for the moment.
Dumb question. Dumb question. What is a repetitive conversation? Not to be dumb.
Approximately asking what's up every 3 hours or so. Just
she doesn't want a child.
Just to finish off the rest of this bio, she says, please just be yourself. I will eventually figure you out. I love good vibes and laughter.
Oh, gotta go. But I want to say that's terrible marketing skills on her behalf for saying, hey, just check it out. Well, what the hell is baby butterfly fagoo?
Belly butterflies.
Belly fly over here. Get out of here with those vibes.
Yeah, butterfly out of our segment here.
You better fly.
All right, and lastly, we have Amelia, who is far and away the youngest candidate for your courtship today, Cub. Amelia is 22, and here's her bio. A lonely fucker with some instability. I tease a lot. It may appear unintentionally aggressive, and like the banter to be returned. So she's a tease, and she likes the banter to be returned.
Of course.
She will supply you with physical warmth, affection to balance. This is okay. We went from one of the
that was not a siren. That was not a siren. It was a motorcycle. Don't even think about it.
We went from one of the best written Tinder bios to Amelia, who I'm struggling to read out loud. So she says she will supply you with physical warmth and affection to balance out my not so warm personality. Does that make sense? We following? Do I need to read the sentence a third fucking time? Because somebody doesn't know how to use a fucking comma. Regardless, I think we could just say Amelia gets fucked and you move on with Christina because
can you read Christina's one more time? Because I was trying to pay attention just listening to stupid words, but it was just so
here's the thing. Zenobia, she's gone.
She should read her balcony from she should read her bio from a balcony.
Right. Romeo, we're out there for Romeo. Yeah. Zenobia obviously gets fucked because we don't say the V word on this podcast. Amelia, just because I made this executive decision because she doesn't know how to use a fucking comma and made it hard for me to read. Amelia, you made me look like a fucking idiot. And that's why you're getting fucking kicked out of here.
I didn't want her anyway. We all know who I wanted.
It's Christina, the 45-year-old with immaculate vocabulary. I don't think I should read it again just because I really read it twice already.
We already know what I want.
But once we turn the cameras off, I'll read it to you again in a sexy voice, Cub. But let's go ahead and take everybody to the interview with Ted Larsen, a therapy session with the thick president himself. Enjoy all of that. Happy Thick Athletes Month, and we will be back next week with another NFL player.
Oh, it's Tom Brady. And now welcoming on special guest, our president of the Thick Athlete Society, Mr. Ted Larsen. Ted, how we doing?
Doing good, really good.
I think go ahead, Ted.
I said, thanks for having me on, but we messed that up in the first 30 seconds.
No, you don't have to thank us for having you on. We want you. We want you on almost every week, but that we'd run out of things to say. I think one thing that Cub forgot to mention in your intro is social media influencer as well.
Ooh.
It's almost like a wannabe influencer. I don't know if I'm there. Like, I've thought about buying some followers and getting my thing. I watched that HBO movie. I'm thinking I need to buy some likes and some followers, but we're on our way.
Maybe one more hashtag next time you post something. Maybe just one more.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do.
The social media feed is hilarious to me because at some point it's football pictures. At some point it's obviously family pictures, and then there's like stylistic pictures as well, where he's like, check out this awesome coat that I got.
Yeah, I think I just dabble in a little bit of everything. That coat was kind of just, we were going to the grocery store, and I was just like, I look pretty fly for a thick guy, and let's just take some photos. The desert is like a very forgiving thick guy photo shoot area.
And then we got the outdoors pics.
Yeah.
So let me ask then, when you're setting something up like that, is it like, hey, honey, take a couple pictures for me, or who takes those photos?
Yeah, it's definitely her. She's like, need to take some photos, and I was like, okay. And usually it's like pulling teeth, to be honest. So I'm like,
Really?
yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, don't even show me what they look like. Just tell me if they're good or bad. I don't like love seeing myself on camera. Obviously, I've got this super red face right now, but she does a good job helping me out. Just trying to fit in. I'm like 33. I'm trying to keep in with like the 20-year-olds.
So does she choose the picture that you post, or are you like, oh, I look good enough in this one, I'll just go with that one?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of delegate that. I mean, I delegate all the hashtagging and all the picture taking and picture choosing to her. She's like, yeah, this one or this one. And I'm like, okay, I like that one. B, A or B. I like B.
So at some point you have to get in your snarky comments about your
Yes.
wife too. How does that find its way into the social media?
Yeah, those are probably like not as prevalent as if I was fully in control of that thing. There would be a lot more snarky comments, but we keep it pretty PG. Like I've only had this Instagram for like a year, maybe. I was very late to the Instagram scene. I kind of was anti-social media, but I missed some opportunities to be tagged and stuff. So I was like, I got to get on board, and thank God I did, so I could get all that Super Bowl clout to my account.
That FOMO.
Yeah.
Well, and that was, I mean, just last month, you're a Super Bowl champion, and I mean, we were gonna save it. We were gonna save it to the very end. We were gonna act like it didn't happen, but you forced our hand, and here we go. So I guess we'll talk about the thing that you did. I guess. I don't know. Do you want to talk about the Super Bowl or whatever?
Yeah, about how I jumped on that bandwagon when it was about the poll.
Well,
no, I mean,
let's be real. We helped you. We
no doubt.
had a huge impact with you getting signed.
Getting signed or not getting signed. I think we've yet to figure out if the social media campaign worked or not. But I'll just say this: when I got to Tampa, we won 8 games in a row. So
it's the Ted Larsen effect.
The Ted Larsen effect has proven itself once again, from 7-5 directly to the Super Bowl.
Well, and I think you got to think back to like the Miami Miracle as well. Like it's the Ted Larsen effect. When he is playing for your team, when you are playing for a team, only good things happen.
I know. If you could only explain that to 31 other NFL GMs, maybe they would.
We were trying to get you back to Chicago, but Eric Lambert got in the way, I guess.
I would love to be in Chicago. I love Chicago. I love Lake Forest and the Bears, and I would love to play for the Bears. Actually, so speaking of the Bears, I actually played college football with Russell Wilson, who may or may not be a Bear.
Well, maybe you can jump on that recruiting bandwagon with Cordero Patterson and Tariq Cohen. Post up.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah. They changed their profile pictures on Twitter to pictures of them and Russell Wilson. Daily hashtags of, hey, Russ, look at us. Want to come to Chicago?
Maybe they could do like a 2-for-1. Like I'll be like, hey, I'll recruit him and you guys just sign me.
For a package deal.
Package. I've got some sweet photos from college, I'm sure, of his hands up my butt, but that might be it.
I think that would be persuasive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly.
The odds of him coming to Chicago have to be so low, though. But hey, as Chicago fans, we have very high hopes for something like that.
I mean, it would work out pretty good. I mean, I think it would fit the offense.
I agree.
So let's steer the bus back towards this past season. You get a chance to play against the Washington football team in the first round of the playoffs, and I have to tell you, I can't tell you how crazy that was for me, because I was sitting there. It was the end of the wild card round of the playoffs, and it's a long day of football, a long weekend of football, and I'm sitting back in the chair, and then I had that moment where I was like, oh my God. You sit up, you're on the edge of your seat, you're standing up, you're like, what the fuck is happening? It was really fucking cool to see you out there.
Yeah, because that was was that the last game? There was 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the nightcap.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. I mean, I'd only dressed. That was, I guess, the first game that I dressed for a regular season game, but I'd been there like 4 weeks and kind of just practiced. Like I hadn't taken any reps with the first team really. So they made me the backup because I was kind of the backup center, and they weren't planning on anybody getting hurt, obviously. But I went in there and I tried to be a serviceable backup, and it was cool to play in a playoff game when you hadn't played training camp or done any real practice. So for me, it was fun, and it was a chance to play in the playoffs and say that I did at least play a little bit. When I wear the Super Bowl ring, I can be like, I dressed for every game and I played in the Washington playoff game.
I also like I don't buy into it like, oh, you lucked into a ring. Like I've never bought into that ever, because you're at a position where you've been playing 11 years in the National Football League, and that is a journey in and of itself that's worthy of praise. So I don't really care if anybody's like, oh, well, so and so, whether it's you or whoever, like lucked into a ring. I think that's bullshit.
I mean, I think it's almost like, I've paid it forward for 10 years where, you've been on some shitty teams, and it's like you've worked hard and you've maybe deserved to, maybe in Arizona, we deserve to go to the Super Bowl in 2014 if Carson Palmer doesn't tear his ACL. So it's like, like you've worked hard, and maybe this is like, I was only there for 8 games, but maybe, it's just paying me back for previous work put in. So, but, yeah, I mean, the fact I could be a part of it and play and dress was huge, because the guys who couldn't dress actually like couldn't be on the field. So that had to suck pretty bad. Being in the stands at a Super Bowl that you're part of the team is tough.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like all the guys on IR, all the injured guys, and I guess the guys on practice squad. Yeah, they had to sit in the stadium and watch it.
Yeah.
That blows.
They got to see the weekend.
What a halftime show it was.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen the memes, and
That's all you need.
Right. You don't need to see it. It was all right.
I felt like the meme I saw was like me going to find the Zoom link for this podcast. I felt like the weekend, like going through my text and email.
How the hell do I get here?
You could have just told me to send it to your email, but you figured it out. You got it. What was it like playing with Tom?
I mean, the guy's like a consummate professional, right? He's like the best to ever do it, but he's also got like a super calming like tone and attitude. So it's like, yeah, you're like super nervous at first, but then you're like, he just wants to play football and be a baller and win. So it's kind of cool.
That's an answer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to screw this up, Tom Brady, but I mean, you can't really think about that. You're just like, oh, let me just snap it to Tom. Oh, my butt's not super wet right now. Like the first day I think I snapped him. He's like, hey, can you put a little more powder down your butt crack? And I was like, yeah, I'll put more powder.
Oh, yeah, I'm all over it.
I mean, I think it's well documented, like the routine of like the towel in the center's butt with like baby powder, which like it is what it is, right? Like you got like a wet towel in practice. I don't know if it keeps your butt dry. He thinks it does. A lot of powder. And so he's like, hey, could you put a little more powder next time? And I'm like, sure, Tom, anything.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Now, is that something like, let's say you were giving snaps to, I don't know, Mitch Trubisky. Is that something you're not as self-conscious about if you're snapping to a bad quarterback, or if you're snapping to somebody who isn't Tom Brady? Like, or does it become more heightened in your mind? Like, I better make sure my butt crack is as dry as the desert, because Tom Brady's going to have his hands on my ass crack today.
Yeah, you don't want to like mess something up for that guy. So you just try to keep it dry and keep it professional. And it's like, I mean, once you're snapping and going full speed, you can't worry about it. But like, I'm like, give me a fresh towel before I go in there.
Got to get Tom a dry butt.
It's a weird thing to like have a Gatorade towel folded, and like it's like creeps a little bit in your butt, and then it moves, and it's like uncomfortable. And so I didn't like enjoy having it in my butt, but it's part of the job, you know. If
These
they're like, you gotta,
conversations sound more painful during than saying them now. If that makes any sense.
But it also sounds like it's hurting him to tell us this. He's like,
Like, yeah,
I had
guys,
to put a towel on my butt.
I don't think I've really like, I haven't talked about it, so it's like I'm in therapy right now talking about this towel that I just had 10 weeks of.
show us where Tom touched you, Tim. Show us where Tom touched you on the dowel.
Yeah. So
You're upsetting him, Cub.
I'm just thinking of all the towels that I would just take and throw in the corner of some, the training room. And I'm like, someone picked up the towel that I just sweated in for like 4 hours. Like, I hope they had like a special COVID sanitizing procedure for that.
Were there any weird rules with COVID that you were like, really, come on?
No, none.
There's thousands. Like,
it's a question, dude. I was curious.
There's like 1,000. I mean, let me think about it. Like, so like the way that it was structured this year, I was on practice squad, but they would bring me up for the game. So I was like active, but they were using it as like a roster exemption. So like if I would have gotten COVID, I would have like not made any, playoff money. So I was like super, super scared. I like wouldn't see my family. Well, I mean, I'd see my kids and wife, but like my parents and brother lived there, and I was like, I can't see you guys anymore. I was like, if I get COVID, I'm gonna be so mad. So I was like, I'll see you after the season. But like, yeah, they have like, when you're on the airplane, you have to wear an N95 mask. You can't drink. They're like, no food or beverage on the airplane. And I'm like, what else is there? You got to wear a little tracker. In the week of the Super Bowl, we were getting tested like twice a day, COVID tests. And
That's
I
wild.
Sneezed every time I got a COVID test. I think all the nurses were so pissed, because I got nose hair. I'm a dad, just like stuff that. And so they're like, it tickles, and so like they're like shove it. It's not bad, but they're tickling my nose, and I just sneeze, and they would like preemptively say "God bless you," and it would just kind of embarrass me. So.
This is good. I'm happy you're getting this all out.
Yeah, get it out.
I should have like called a friend after the Super Bowl. Who knew I had all these demons? But it was all worth it because we won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and there were blue skies for the Super Bowl, so that was great.
Yeah, exactly.
I also wanted to bring up on the topic of you being essentially quarantined from extended family members, the hotel room cooking.
Yeah,
and the cuisine that you made there. What was your favorite dish, and how did that process come about for you?
Yeah, well, so they put me in a Renaissance hotel, which is just standard, and they paid for a couple weeks. It was close to the facility. I kind of was all situated, and my family was in an adjoining room, my kids. And then I was like, I don't want to move out of here. I don't want to like move into an Airbnb. I'm gonna have to move, and it just. So I was like sick of ordering food. I mean, I was door dashing like every meal or going out to get it. So my wife was like, "Oh, I'll just bring this burner," and she had like a single, I think it was like a camping stove or something, like a single burner, and she would go in the bathroom and like whip up like rice and steak and kids mac and cheese, and it was like crazy. I was like, where are you getting like pancakes for the kids? It was insane. And she would do it in the bathroom so it like wouldn't stink our whole hotel room. But yeah, it kind of worked out really well. So like the week of the Super Bowl, we actually got kicked out of the hotel because CBS was in there, and it got really expensive. So we went to Airbnb, and I kind of hated it. I kind of like wanted to go back to the Renaissance. I was like, I loved it there. I was like, we were there for like 40 something days. Like it was perfect. But yeah, that's the cooking.
What was your favorite thing to DoorDash?
Oh God. There was like this, so like it became that thing. Like there was so much stuff that I ordered that eventually it got like to be like very bland, but there was like this place like Fresh Kitchen, and it was like rice and chicken and steak. It wasn't like terribly bad for you, but I also DoorDash quite a bit of like ice cream since it is thick. Athletes Month, I think I should touch on the cookies and ice cream that were definitely DoorDashed. I'm like, can I DoorDash like 1 pint of ice cream and like 2 cookies? Like, someone's gonna have to go pick that up, but it's worth it.
It's like GoPuff. That they go to like stores. That's in Chicago. I don't know about Florida.
And I was like, I hope it doesn't melt before it gets to my house. It was like the perfect like consistency in the pint though. I did that quite a bit. Or like it was at a mall. The hotel was at a mall, so I'd hit the Cheesecake Factory for some cheesecake, which is, I don't know if I've eaten a Cheesecake Factory, but I would definitely the cheesecake in a Cheesecake Factory.
Of course, and hopefully more than just one slice, because I find, especially with cheesecake, it's incredibly hard to just have one slice of cheesecake.
You can't, like, I don't go to the Cheesecake Factory a lot, but like you can't pick one. There's so many flavors, and it's like, what are you gonna do? I get both. I'll get 2.
Right, pick your top 2,
and
then
just bring back 2. I'll be happy with whatever.
I'm an awful decision maker, so that's how that works for me. Up next on the Super Bowl agenda, I'm looking at my sheet. I gotta ask about the champagne celebration that you posted on Instagram. Were you going for the Chris Bosh look, or?
I tried not to get so Chris Bosh with it, but good reference. I was like, I have these goggles. I was like, I might as well soak myself in some champagne. But my kids.
Wait, hold on. That was yourself pouring it on you?
No. It's the tricks of social media. No, someone else.
The tricks of social media.
Yeah, I need to record it. My kids were on the field after the game, got sprayed with champagne. They got sprayed with champagne on the boat parade. They've been sprayed with so many beer and champagne. My kids like love it, so they'll get like a LaCroix and shake it up and like spray it on me. It's like we've been doing this for like a month now. My kids are kind of crazy, but yeah.
Since we're already on the emotional train right now, did you cry at all when you won the Super Bowl? Or shed a single tear, like a dad tear, where like you didn't like really cry, but the tear still went down?
No, I think if I would have been there the whole year, like if you kind of went through like the training camp and whole season and maybe were a little more invested, you would feel that. Like, I mean, I don't know if I definitely didn't cry. I was more kind of just like sweet, but it wasn't like I'd like, it wasn't that true. Like, when your son is born, like how you cry, like it wasn't like that kind of.
Yeah, I know all about that, man.
Yeah, Ted. We've never had sex, Ted. We've never had sex.
I'm in a dorm room. Do you think I have a child?
I'm in a studio. You think I have a child?
Well, you could.
Well, Ted's got 2 receipts, so.
Congrats. But yeah, at least 2 times he was granted admission.
It's proof that it works, right? Is that like, see, it worked.
There are plenty of social media posts to prove it. But yeah, so I don't know about having your first son. That's for sure. Yeah. But I can imagine how that buildup would take place, right? Like going through training camp and all that. But
the buildup wasn't quite there, so I didn't cry. But it was definitely cool. I mean, it's like a cherry on, probably more than a cherry on top of I'll definitely throw that on the resume, in the future. It'll be like Super Bowl champ. And so you basically, I mean, yes, I got to the top of my profession, with some help. It's like when you do the group project and you barely contribute and you still get the A, right? I think we know about that.
Know all about that.
Ted, did you update your LinkedIn? It says Super Bowl champ yet?
Dude, I should. That should definitely go right.
Projects, Super Bowl champion.
LV. It should go right under my name. I'm gonna do that right after I hang up on this call.
Are you on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
I'm gonna connect with you later, Ted. So you better connect with me.
I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't think, like, I've heard good things, but I just don't. I don't think someone's gonna be like, "Hey, look at your resume. Here's a job."
No, like, you can apply to jobs on there. I got my internship on there.
Really?
I'm certain. There's obviously life after football, and I don't know when that's coming for you. But like, nobody's gonna reach out. I mean, like, 49ers aren't gonna reach out to you and be like, "Hey, we've seen your resume."
It would actually be like a lot easier than paying an agent to do something or not do something.
It's the wave of the future. Let's start it together. It starts today. We will build an online
free agency.
free agency website.
What's that Rams quarterback, the backup? His LinkedIn wasn't even like, it just said like Rams QB. His LinkedIn was like, it was all over social media. I don't remember his name.
The guy got like the
that guy.
That's the one.
Yeah,
guy.
there's a lot of NFL players on LinkedIn though. Like I had one from college and I kind of updated it. It's pretty up to date. So
not me.
That's
Googling it.
that's LinkedIn.
Not me looking it up or
add me
anything.
on LinkedIn. Add me on all social media.
Add me on LinkedIn at Ted Larsen.
I'll do a post. I should do an Insta post at my LinkedIn. Cross-pollinate my followers.
There you go. Is that official?
Dude, how professional is that photo?
Pretty professional.
That's your wedding photo. Of course it's going to look good.
Yeah, I mean, no shit.
Is that social media influencer talk, like cross-pollinate my followers? Is that?
Dude, I don't know.
I
don't know my password for Instagram. You think I know?
I'm just trying to learn. I'm just trying to learn from one of the world's best, you know?
Dude, I do. I'm a consumer of social media though. And I enjoy TikTok. So like, are you guys TikTok?
So listen, let me cut him off. So this guy has like a little conspiracy theory that he's worried that people are watching him while he's on TikTok.
That's not it at all.
But he still watches TikTok off his girlfriend's phone. He won't download the app because he doesn't want to make an account. I'm on it every single day.
It's addictive.
Because it keeps going and going.
If you want to waste time, which I feel like social media is all about wasting time, there's nothing better than TikTok because it's just like swipe right. You just like it just flows. You can go right back to where you were. The video is paused right where you paused it.
For me, it's like 9 o'clock at night, but I don't have anything to do. It's like, hey, I'll waste 2 hours and then go to bed at 11. Let's just swipe through.
Yeah.
That was the problem for me, is because I would end up, I'll lay down and watch a half hour of TikTok. And then I'm like, I'll go to bed at 1. I'll go to bed at 1:15. And then it's fucking 2:30 and you're like, what has happened? Your eyes are crusted over. You're crying for some reason.
For me, I feel like 15 minutes of TikTok is an aggressive amount, but you guys are really consuming a lot of TikTok.
I have nothing to do.
So I would send TikToks. There was a guy who was like 21, the right tackle, Tristan Wirfs, and he actually had like a viral TikTok. And so I would send him TikToks I found funny. And he's like, dude, why are you sending me these TikToks? You're like 33. Like no, I'm like trying to fit in and I'm trying to like relate to the younger generation.
That's so insulting. My dad sends me TikToks every day. He's 54.
Your dad probably sends you a TikTok that's like on Facebook. Like
no, he doesn't even have Facebook. He doesn't even have the TikTok app. He just Googles it and then goes through. No, he does have the app. He just doesn't have an account.
My mom sends me reels, which is worse.
That's so bad. Is there someone on TikTok that you really like watching their videos?
Not really, no. Just, I mean, that's the whole point. Is just
that's
like
the beauty of it.
Random stuff, right?
Yeah, my dad will just consistently send me anything dog related. Doesn't own a dog, but will send me any like weird dog.
He has a dog, or you have a dog?
No, none of us have a dog.
He has. If you're interested in 2 dogs, I've got 2 dogs looking for a new home.
Phil, you're listening, Phil.
Here's the dad joke. Here's the dad joke segment of the podcast.
It's real, like. So we liked our dogs, and then we had kids, and then we were kind of just like, these dogs are still here. Like we have humans to take care of. This is not like make-believe land. You know, like when you're like dog, you see people like, oh, they're my dog babies. Like, no, that's not a baby. That's a dog. Like
that's like, what the hell are these dogs still doing here?
This is something that I have petitioned for, right? Like around Mother's Day, what will happen is everybody, every woman will say that they are a dog mom.
No.
And that's not a thing. That's
not
dad.
Not a thing.
No, he's a dad to boy and daughter.
Yeah, and I have 2 dogs, but they're not my children because they're not my species. I just try to tell people.
Let it out.
I'm like, don't buy a dog. There's so many guys in the league, they're bored, and they're like, I'm going to buy a dog. And I'm like, don't, because when you have kids, you're going to be like, why do I have this dog? and then you're going to be on a podcast trying to get rid of your dogs.
See, here's the fun part: is this is a dog-friendly podcast, and here we are trashing these dogs. We have to allow it because you're the thick president. But anybody else, we would be scolding them right now.
Well, no, it's friendly. I mean, I used to like them. I just have kids. I like the kids more than the dogs.
Ted, speaking of being thick prez, you got any new laws for us that you want to like set in place, set in stone for the people, the other members of the society?
I've been so consumed with the NFL season and the COVID protocols, and then celebrating the Super Bowl win. I haven't been thinking about thick laws.
Thanks for thinking of us, Ted. We were thinking about you all year long, and now you give us that.
I know. I live a thick life. So I was actually, this isn't a law, but I was in the gym today with some of the guys, the other O-linemen that play in the NFL. And they're like, you should change your Instagram name to Thick Like Ted. At Thick Like Ted should be the account. And I was like, well, maybe I'll make some merch and you guys can buy it. So there might be some Thick Ted merch on the way.
I think we can get behind that.
Yeah, you could sponsor us.
Thick Like Ted, and then just Ted doing thick. I don't think I'm going to change my name because I don't know if you can do. You can't do like.
You can do it. Name. You can do it on Instagram. You can on Twitter.
Yeah, okay. Hey, what about TikTok? Dude, if I could dance at all, I would do video. I cannot.
My dad was our guest for Father's Day this past year, and we've been like dying to have him on. And we had a rule for my dad that he had to have 5 TikTok videos for us, and he didn't do any. He
was gonna make them.
We told him to, but he wouldn't do it. But my dad is literally walking dad content, and he's just so shy. I have to get it like secretive. I'm like, he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing. Just keep doing what you're doing."
I've 2 talks, but they're not even like dances. They're just like funny using the. Maybe I'll send them to you. They're like in the drafts. Like I haven't made them live, but actually I did do a TikTok. I don't know if you guys caught it. One of the guys on the O-line gave everybody Louis Vuitton backpacks, and so my wife was like, "Yeah, let's make this." Or maybe it was a TikTok, and like I'll send it to you. Like she like threw the backpack on my back, and it like stuck to my back. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah. So that was my first real TikTok.
You looked fancy. You looked real good.
He was like, I can't believe you're wearing a Louis Vuitton backpack. I'm like all my like outdoorsy friends or whatever. I'm like, dude, it was a gift. Like, calm down.
Are you not supposed to wear it?
I don't know.
Ted's doing him. That's all that matters.
But I was like, everybody's like, thanks. Hey, huge shout out. Like, thanks. And I'm like, well, like that's kind of like he got like 10 of those. So I was like, might as well like make it a cool social media thing and do a TikTok.
I thought you bought that backpack because it just looked like it. So I didn't judge it.
Well,
I was jealous.
Maybe I fooled some of my followers, obviously.
Yeah. It's like, wow, Ted's bougie. Who would have thought?
Well, I'm also bougie for a thick guy.
So I think part of what plays into that is you are a self-proclaimed hat guy now.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of a hat guy. Now that I'm back in Arizona, I'm rocking some hats.
And you have a Louis Vuitton scarf too, right?
Do I?
I think it's Louis Vuitton.
We have a list actually of all of the wardrobe
Everything
items
you've ever worn. It's on a poster.
Like an Excel spreadsheet of.
We have the sizes and everything.
Under scarves, it just says Louis Vuitton. Like there's only one scarf.
We actually have a separate Instagram account that's Ted Fits.
Dude, that would be so awesome.
They do that for like Odell Beckham.
I know, but if you just did that for some loser like me, you had he's wearing the Miss podcast in 3XL, and then he's wearing, the Nike workout shorts.
We would just wait for you to post our hoodie, and then we would just constantly post that every single day to like give us ads. Like, look, there's Ted.
Yeah, I'll definitely do something in the hoodie. Post it, because why not? Thick Athletes Month.
That's right. We don't expect anything, but we would love it if you did. We've had you on for a while. I feel like we could do this forever. Cub, is there anything we have to wrap up with here with our thick president?
Oh yeah, something we've never asked. Fishing. When are you gonna take me?
Whenever I go, like, so I haven't been fishing in like saltwater fishing in like 3 years. It's like I tell my wife constantly, I'm like, that's like the one thing besides family and kids, like that's like the one thing I love doing, and I don't really get to do it much. And I still have a boat in. That's actually a funny quick story. I have a boat in Florida, but the place where I store it sold to a different company, and I didn't know the new company's phone number, so I didn't know where my boat was for 2 years. I was like, and I finally got in touch with the place, and I'm like, you guys have my boat, right? And they're like, oh yeah. By the way, you owe us for like storing it for 2 years. But I wasn't concerned because it was insured by Geico.
And they can save you 50% or more on your boat insurance.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, if it's gone, it's probably better. I just get the cash. I don't have the boat. I have to go and get a new boat, but it's there and it's safe.
So you have a boat. You are an avid hiker and outdoorsman, and then you're a pilot too. Planes. You are a locomotive.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yeah.
We're coming sea, air, and land. Just like
Air, like the air. What is the Avatar?
No, it's like in that movie, The Breakup in Chicago. Wasn't that in Chicago? They were taking Chicago by sea, air, and land. Vince Vaughn.
Do you think just because we're from here, we know every movie that's ever been filmed here?
I mean, yeah. If you live in Chicago, I feel like that's like you should know that, right? No.
All I know is Transformers was filmed here.
I didn't.
Batman
know
and
Batman.
What about like Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Oh,
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
And the rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's just keep going down the list and have everyone
There's
listen.
gonna be, depending on how big your social media, they're gonna be pissed that you didn't know any Chicago movies.
Well, here's the thing.
They can kick rocks.
All right. Here's what we'll wrap up on before we set you free. Is there anybody on social media that we need to set straight? Because we know you're not as active on Twitter anymore, and rarely does the hate find the comments on your Instagram. So, is there anybody on Twitter that we need to bash their skulls in?
I mean, here's what I would do. It's just like Google, or not Google, but Twitter search Ted Larsen and sucks all as the keywords. And whoever puts that, I mean, there's like 3 people that have it out for me, and they just deserve to get, some comments on their Twitter, I would assume.
So why does Eric Lambert hate you?
Is he a beat writer?
He's the beat writer for Sports Mockery.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like these, like there's every team, there's like a beat writer that just like has it out for me. In Miami, it was like this guy Armando. He celebrated me getting cut. I'm like, they're like, we saved 1.3 in cap charges, and I'm like, that's like pennies to an NFL team. Why are you celebrating that with a tweet? Like, what is going on? But
you should have quoted it and been like, I don't have a job now. Thanks for laughing at me.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm not gonna laugh when you get fired. But
hold on, we're writing down his name.
Armando in Miami.
Yeah. Just anybody who has that Ted Larsen hate. There's not a lot of it. There's also Ted Larsen, the artist. Take it easy on Ted Larsen, the artist in New Mexico, because he's very active on Twitter as well.
Okay. Ted Larsen in New Mexico. Take it easy. Okay. But this is kind of where, so we've set a precedent as a podcast for like all of our guests that come on. If anybody ever shows, hey, we have to go into effect. We have to do our job.
I feel like you did that. I like added you or something. I brought you into the convo, and you guys definitely handled that.
Ted, we handle your light work like I tell you.
I know. It's true. That's the best part of being on.
And that way you have more time to do stuff you like being a dad. And I'm sure you got to get back to that. So we will set you free. We appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much. You know how much it means to us. So we won't bludgeon you with thank yous this time.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ted.
See you guys. Take care.
All I got is missed calls on my line, yeah. Never seen a pick up, right on time, yeah. If I don't call back.